Hiya guys, and welcome back to Wade's Workshop on this rainy Sunday morning, as it happens to be. Yeah, the weather doesn't know what it's doing at the moment. It's you have a nice day and you think, oh, summer's here, and then you get 2 days of rain and then you might have a nice day. But I think the weather's supposed to improve this week coming up. We're up into the sort of 20 to 23 sort of degrees. Not hot compared to what some of you have been suffering throughout the world, but yeah, I mean, we're about 18 now and we're middle of July, which is, you know, it's pretty poor, really. New tools this week. Oh, one new tool, not really interesting to you, to us metal workers. I bought myself, I've been building a new decking outside, or a sort of lower level decking. I'll show that when it's completed. It's a work in progress at the moment. As I say, working only on it on weekends, and you know, if you can get half a day on it, you're lucky. But I had cause to get one of these. I'd never used one before, but for getting into tight places and what have you, a little multi-tool. It's got a sanding pad attachment, you know, all sorts of different attachments you can get for these things. I haven't got a battery in it at the moment. But yeah, well impressed with these. Only reason I bought a DeWalt one is I've got a 5-inch DeWalt 18 volt brushless grinder. I've got, you know, the old DeWalt drill. Can't fault this thing really. The only chucks are not brilliant on these. Yeah, that, you know, it's okay, but you know, when you're holding sort of hexagon shaped bits, but for drill bits and what have you, you really need to wrench down on it to get it tight. But the brushless stuff, all 18 volt, is what I've been going for, and I think I've got like 4 or 5 batteries now and 3 separate tools, so that's why I'm sticking with a DeWalt range. No allegiance. You know, it could have been Makita, but I've already got batteries, and it just keeps the versatility with the batteries. I've got 2 chargers, 4 or 5 batteries. Anyway, that's another story. So on with the little milling vice stop. Not a vice stop so much as a table stop. It's a universal adjustable stop that can be put anywhere on the table. We explained it all in last week's video. Anyway, let's get on and get this job finished. So I got a little bit ahead of myself and did miss a bit of filming, guys. You've just seen me make this little brass washer that has a step on it and a 6mm hole through the centre, and that fits basically in the end of there. The original nut, which was too short, I've made a replacement, as you can see. That's just fallen out. A longer one, so that allows me now for a lot greater height. So that's good. Now, off camera, in fact, I tried to do it on camera, but forgot to turn the camera on. I've made up this pin. Basically, a running fit in here. A couple of mil short of all the way. It's going to drop back a bit further eventually. And this diameter on the end here, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch long. And that's going to take a pin through it. I'm going to drill a hole at a later stage. So I've made this pin up. It's a piece of 1/4 inch gauge rod, or 01 silver steel, 15-degree taper on the end with a ball end on that, and then a simple ball end on the other end, and it's probably about 100-120 mil long. So that will be passing through a hole in here, and there'll be a tension cup. We'll make that next. That part goes in there. Let me just find the little washer, which has fallen in the T slot. That's going to go on there, and then I'm reusing the nut that I made that was wrong. I may shorten it up a bit. It's a little bit long, and I can reuse that as the clamping method for the little drawer collar that's going to hold this pin. So I need to make the cup now, which basically, if you think of it as it's a piece of steel bored out to take this on the shoulder, and a hole through to take this, which will slide on from this end. It's going to start off being a couple of mil longer, or I can start it off flush with the end of here. And then what I'm going to do is clamp it all up and drill through the 2 in one go. And once I've done that, I can take it back off and machine a 1/2 mil off this shoulder. And then when it's clamped up, then the holes will misalign by that 1/2 mil, and that will clamp the rod. So yep, that's the next part to make. So yeah, it's coming along now, guys. just put those pieces back in there. Okay, I've just spun it round this way, and as you can see, that rod's going to sit through there. That is stuck out too far. I'll probably knock 6mm off this. Plenty of room to get your fingers in, but you know, how much room do you need really? I mean, that's, yeah, 6mm off it. So I've just turned an OD of 17mm on here. This is the offcut from the brass washer. Put a little chamfer on the end, faced it off. 17 diameter. That'll leave about 2mm wall thickness either side of when it slides over the fixed part or the rotating part. So I need to bore it out now. First of all, to take the main body. Let me just grab hold of it. Okay, so the hole in it has to have a hole this diameter, so I'll just mic that up. I believe it was just under 10mm. Bear with me 2 seconds. 10, 9, I can't remember. It's measuring up 9.9mm. Okay, so yeah, I've just put a series of drills through there. Let's have a look. Let's go for a 9 first. Should be able to go straight in with a 9 in this brass. And I want to go through, yes, 15mm deep maybe. Okay. From there, 15. A couple more mil. Won't hurt, make it easier to part off. Okay, I could put a 10mm reamer through here. It's not important. I think what I'll do is go straight in now with a 10mm drill. Yeah, let's just make sure I don't hit anything. Okay, let's go in with a 10mm. Right through. Okay. So next job is to change over and set up a boring bar to bore this out to a depth. And the depth is going to be basically just short of the length of that head, so it's just short, probably about 12mm deep. So I'm going to set up a boring bar. Okay, so I've got a boring bar set up now. Let me just get myself a 0. I'll just set a 0 there. Okay, just get a touch off. That's there. So that's a nominal 10mm. I think I'll take a 1/2mm cut. And I'm going to go in 12mm. Yeah. Basically all I'm doing, I'm taking out 0.1, 0.2 at a time. We're getting close now. I'll take another 0.1 aside. Just set a 0 there. was going to make this out of steel, and then I thought, well, we'll keep with the sort of brass, aluminium, stainless look, and see how it goes. I'm hoping this is just, ooh, that fits, and it's a bit short. Okay, no worries, that's where I want to be. So it should actually go in that way as well. No, the hole isn't deep enough. Okay. I think I need to flank the bottom just a little. I'm going to go into 12.1. Just face the bottom face till I get to my 0. Come back off. Come back out. A little difficult for me to show you guys, but there's a little burr down in the bottom of there. I should be able to dress that out with a needle file. Okay, so we have the little hole. That's 12mm deep, and it fits on the shank of the part. So I think the next thing to do, just a little breakage on that front edge. In fact, I think I'll probably do that with a little bit of emery cloth. I'll give it a little polish. Okay, so next job, part it off. So I've set my parting tool up on what looks like a reasonable depth. It's a little fast. I do have the opportunity to turn the end of this afterwards. There she blows. Okay. So you can probably see that little burr that was in there. I'll just dress that out with a needle file. And the part should, well, when that burr is gone, slide down into there. Okay, so there's the sleeve and the part. As you can see, that just slides down over the top of there. So we need to mount it up now and drill a hole through it. So a little bit of a cheat. I've set it up on the arbor. Where it's going to live. There's a touch off. Where am I in? X. Enter. F0. Okay. Let's just go to the other side. Oops. Sorry guys. Bumping the tripod here. Come on, any second now, there we go. So I want X half function. Just come off the end. Go back to 0, which is half of the distance between the two touch points. Using the DRO. And there we are in the middle. Okay, it's going to be a quarter reamed hole to take the quarter silver steel. I have a quarter reamer. I think my 6mm chuck will be the boy. That'll be the chuck of choice, 0 to 6mm. That's going to need my 12mm collet. There we go. So let's just swap over. Okay. Collet in the collet nut first. Fit the collet nut up. Have I got room here? We'll have in a second. Okay. Let's just tighten up that collet. Only hand tight just now for the all I needed to be was hand tight. So I think a spotting drill first. Let's find a spotting drill, an appropriate size. There's a 6mm. That'll do. We're putting a 1/4 in afterwards. 6mm spotting drill. Up a bit more, I think. Just give myself some space. Let me just check my camera. I just remembered I bumped you guys a little bit earlier. Okay. All right. Oh, let's just come down a bit further. Had my quill extended quite a way. That should do me. Okay, so Mo, the question is, how far out do I want this hole? I can gauge it pretty much because that 6mm is going to look very like the pin. I don't want to go halfway. I want it a bit further out. That looks a bit more like halfway. Let's have a... Yeah. Bit further out. Okay. I'm going to call that the mark. Let's just tighten that shut. Right. You know what, I'm tempted to use a centre drill on here so that I get down into the steel with the point of the centre drill. I think that might be a better method into this circumstance than a spotting drill, because that's going to mark the copper. I'll get there in a minute. It's going to mark the brass, but probably wouldn't get down into the steel, and the drill may wander when it hits the steel. So I think if I put a centre drill in, yeah, I will. That will at least put the form down into the steel. Okay, we'll call it there. I wonder if I was to put the probably 5mm drill first, I think. Let's go for a 5, shall we? Take that head up again. That'll do me. So I need to gently go right through with a 5mm drill. There we go. Let's have a little drop of fluid in there. That's better. Not the best supported method, this, so I'm just tickling it through, letting the drill do the work. That's probably getting into the brass now. Here we go. Don't want anything slipping or moving there. Okay, that's 5. I think we'll go with a 6 and then a 1/4 reamer. So that's a 5. What did I do with a 6mm drill? I was using it earlier. I have it. Up again. That's enough. I'll slow this down a touch. Okay. I'm going to try the 6mm reamer. If it's a little tight, I'll probably put a 6.4 drill down, because it doesn't have to be a snug fit in here, you know, but I would like it to be a running fit if possible before it's clamped up. So that's the 6mm drill through. So I think I'm going to turn the camera off and find my quarter reamer. So that's the quarter reamer, slowed down, suitable amount of cutting fluid on there. Wouldn't normally use fluid for brass, or cutting compound I should say, but the majority of this hole is steel. Okay, so that's that right through. So let's try the pin in the hole, I think. Okay, there we are. Oh, happy with that fit. So now that we drill this hole, we need a method by which to misalign the holes to let it clamp. So I'm going to take it out. Tease it apart. It might be a little bit burred up, so I may have to give this a few taps to get it apart. And I'm going to machine a bit off the underside of the shoulder on the metal part to bring this back flush. Probably about 30 thou. I may be able to just... yeah, we'll find a way. So I've just put the parting tool in, locked it. 30 thou step back, or 3/4 of a mil. And just going to wind in, drop that shoulder back. A touch deeper. Little tiny undercut in there, not worried about that, at least I know I'm into the shoulder. And can I get a chamfer in the back of there without bringing it further out? Let's have a look. I think it's just going to be too close. I can get the tip to touch and that's about it. I'm going to have to bring it out in the chuck. Not to worry. Just a little more out. That's it. Okay. So when I put the collar on now, I can feel a little raised portion on there. Let me just give that a polish. Actually take the burrs off those two holes like that as well. Okay. That's better. So we should be there now. So let's do a little demonstration. So if I put a part in my vise, if I had 10 or 12 of these to do for instance, I needed to register them. So I'll stick that part in, which is my first one. So I'd need to put my pointer on the end of there. So let's have a... in fact, we're not far out here. Let's just lock that somewhere near there. That somewhere near there. Tighten up. Just loosen off my vise. Against the stop. Throw the Allen key. Tighten the vise. That's basically a fixed stop. I could take that out, put it back in, and I always know it's going to go against that finger, tight in the vise. And basically wherever it is, if it was down here somewhere, you know, I could locate down there, up, around. Obviously I can move the whole thing across. I can swivel it on this nut. I'm going to change this for a thumb wheel. But yeah, I mean the principle's all there. I can lock him off. Just butt my part to it. get the right Allen key for the vise, Adrian. I think that was a 6mm. 5mm, yes it was. Okay, so I think that's the part complete. I am going to make a knob to go onto the table here instead of this black one. But yeah, we reused the short knob. I'm actually going to shorten it up a bit more. But very happy. Yeah, it saves me using the sort of clamping down a block or clamping down a 1, 2, 3 block, something like that. Nice little pointer. It's not in the way so much. You know, swarf can fall out. It's easier to clean round. Happy days, job complete. So, fun little project. Mostly turning work. Bit of work. We did that rotary table shenanigans to do all the circles and what have you on this aluminium part. Boring head to do the scallop out of this piece. All milling work, bit of filing on this rad we did, and the rest of it turning, straightforward turning in the lathe. A little bit of milling to put the cross hole in for the pin, and I haven't shown, but if I loosen off, you can see the pin, you know, will go back and forth, and I've got a rounded end as well. It was a much bigger flat surface, and I've got the little thin end in case it's a awkward spot or a feature we want to pick up on. Well, there we are. That's the universal adjustable stop done. I quite enjoyed doing this little project. You know, there's a few different techniques involved, you know, turning, bit of rotary table. You've seen it all by now. It's just been in the video. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be using this quite a lot. Saves me putting up the 1, 2, 3 block and clamping that down, that sort of thing. And yeah, you can use it not only with a vise, but when you've got a fixed part bolted on the table or what have you as well. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be useful going forward, and that you will see quite a lot of it being used. Next episodes we'll probably be back on the Stuart model steam engine. Now, steam engines aren't everybody's cup of tea, and I'm sure it puts a lot of people off, and a lot of people have been waiting eagerly for the next instalment, so I can't please everybody. The only thing I can say is that different techniques and setups and ideas that are involved in making an engine like this are pretty universal to any little engineering project in the workshop. So yeah, even though the end product might not be, you know, what everybody's cup of tea, but the setups and machining, you know, problems that need to be got around and things like that are quite useful for general home shop or even professional engineering. So that's that. So anyway, as it stands today, we're on 9,904 subscribers. So thank you so much, all of you. We're on the home stretch now. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button and give me a thumbs up if you want to. So, as I always say, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.